If you've never woken up on the side of a mountain, come out of your tent, and it's the sunlight is just hitting like the cascade of the Trinity, and you're looking out, and behind you is like a glistening lake, and you're just like, it's hard not to, I'm smiling right now. Hard not to be absolutely stoked. Awesome.
Ready? I think we're ready.
Yeah. All right.
I was literally, I had a notebook and stuff and I forgot it, but I'm like, I'm good.
You're good. Yeah.
We're
going. We're starting
we're
at
always
444.
free flowing and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I had a couple things I want to ask you.
Oh, you guys were going to do a run through? Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is professional.
Welcome back to Two Guys on the Path. Curtis.
Alex?
Got Alex, joined by a dear friend, Aaren.
I'm Aaren. Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet
And
you.
now there were three.
Yes. Three guys on the path.
Three
Let's go.
guys on the
I like
path.
it.
It's pretty funny. We've known each other for a couple years.
Yes.
We first met online.
Yes.
And-
In a Call of Duty lobby.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yes.
Gaming story. I would love to
Mutual
hear about
friends
this.
spent many two nights up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Way too late playing.
Like I feel like we hung out for like 20 to 50 hours.
It's a ton
More
of
than
time.
a long time. And we finally met in person. I'm like, oh, like that's what you look like?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, because you meet somebody for a long time. I had a guy that I know knew just perpetually online. Same thing. Voice, and you imagine this person in your head, and you're like, I think I know what this person. This is like Xbox Live days, so there's no. And then you meet this person. He came out, flew out to hang out with all of us, like our friend group. I'm like, you, nah, dude.
What?
Great dude though. Great, awesome dude. But
So
yeah, we've
carpenter by trade, right?
cabinet maker, carpenter,
Okay.
purveyor of many failed attempts at different things. You know, the usual stuff. But yes, carpenter by trade. I run a business with my dad. Our business name is Woodcuts Cabinets here in Redding, California. Got to shout that out.
Helped make the cabinet for the fish tank.
I didn't officially make it. I helped finish it, which is spraying a clear coat of coverage on it. But I've been involved in a couple of things here in the office.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do really high-end, fancy custom cabinetry. And I've always liked doing that. So it's always been something that I've been passionate about. And it's funny, like when I was growing up, you don't ever necessarily want to do something that your dad does sometimes. I feel like people can feel like that. And I was always, I mean, we spent... my brother and I spent so many hours down at the shop, like where dad was working and we were babies, you know, he's babysitting us, but really what was babysitting us was like our bicycles in the cul-de-sac area there and everything. But I'd always been interested in that. And then growing up as a kid, you know, you help your dad sand in the shop and he's like, you're going to sand that. And I'm like, I hate this. This is brutal. I want to be outside chasing things and climbing trees. So just over time, like when I was in college, I was always fixing things for people and I would do work on the side. And, you know, I was going to college to be a teacher at the time and that never ended up working out. But I'd always had that passion kind of underlying. And I guess they put a cap on it, I suppose. In 2015, I was working for Dick's Sporting Goods down south and I was a assistant store manager, air quotes, but you know, part of that whole crew. And my grandma was kind of failing in health. So I was able to, she had some health problems. She fell down and my dad called me and was like, hey, I need help basically doing this, taking care of her. Would you be willing to come back home? And he knew that I was struggling at that job where I was like, man, I just got to get out. I hate it here. I can't do it. And I'm skipping over a lot here, but we only got an hour.
For sure.
It goes fast.
It does.
So I came back home and I, at the time, was working in a gun shop here in town. And then I was helping my dad on the side. And then I started getting into it again, but like at a professional level where it's not just me doing something for fun or, you know, building something. I was like, I got a quirky idea. I need to see if I can even build this thing. And I started working with him and the rest is kind of history. I love doing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like
really
really
cool.
family. They're like, hey, can you just come in and help with this? And then, well, while you're here, can you take this on? And while you're here, like, so your sister left. Can you take over building insurance? Like,
Yeah.
Just when I get out, they pull me back in. Oh man, it's been a real treat. I am very blessed every single day because I get to do something that one I love, and then the two would be I get to work with my dad every single day. And a lot of people, I know they butt heads with their fathers and whatnot, but my dad and I have a really good relationship, and it's awesome. We harass each other nonstop all day, and it all in good fun. But I couldn't dream of a better way to live my life, to be honest with you. And I'm sure I could go someplace else and make more money, or I could probably do something.
We were talking about that the other day. It was just like enjoy what you do, like in that, like having that passion, like for just working with your hands. And
and I mean,
being creative.
To be real though, like if you have a passion of something, like if your passion is underwater basket weaving, you better get really good at selling underwater basket weaving classes to people and marketing that, because it's going to be hard to make a living. But I think the goal is always to find something, like you said, that you're passionate about and that you love and that you care about, and that when I hit my head against the pillow at night, the only person that I'm racing against every single day is generally me. And that's kind of the biggest thing for me is you want to hit the pillow and you want to be at peace. And I'm not really sure if you can put a price on that, because there isn't one associated with it. But when you have it, oh my God, you know it. And it's great. And people are like, oh, you're not that stressed, or, oh, you're stressed about this. I'm like, yeah, I'm stressed about certain things, but in general,
having a good time.
I love that perspective. That's really cool, because, I mean, you talked about struggling a little bit before you hit that sweet spot where you found out, oh, I do like doing this wood cutting stuff again, you know? So like we've talked about that before, is going through some struggles. Like it's part of the process, you know, and it can be really easy to get caught up in it and just kind of like give up almost. But those times when you can kind of dig deep and keep pushing, you'll find out that you're right on the cusp of something that's really cool, you know. And now I don't know how long you've been doing it, but like
2000, I mean, I'm going to say 2015 is when I came back to town. 2017 is when I actually physically joined the company of like on a permanent basis. So 8 years. Oh my God.
So that's 8 years of peace.
Yeah,
right on the inside.
Trust
right?
me,
like,
it wasn't always just peace.
No,
There's a
for
lot of
sure.
struggle, because it's like you're having thoughts. I mean, for a while, what really ruined me is because I went to college, I got 2 degrees, history and social sciences. I went through the credential program down there at Chico State, and I ended up not using any of that. And I mean, I learned though how to network, talk to people,
Huge.
end up being able to express myself, and like, cause you're on your own, you know, and you're trying to make things happen. And I try to take that from it at least, but I never ended up teaching, never ended up doing any of those things. So for a while there, it was kind of like, what did I just do for like the last 4 years, 5 years of my life? And then you come back home and you go, oh, well, this isn't so bad. I like this. I could get used to this.
For sure.
And then, oh, I'm good at this. Oh. And then you get kind of like a spark going. And I think that's super important.
A lot of that experience translates over though, because I look at it as kind of like you're building skills.
Oh yeah.
Like even though you're not like, I went in and I got this education to accomplish like this specific goal. And it's like, even if you don't utilize it for that, like that it still translates.
Oh yeah.
Because like I went, I'm like, I'm going to get into computer programming. So I did like PHP, SQL, and like got my web development certification. Never like made a business out of it or like work for a company doing web development. But like now it's like for the office, it's like, oh, I can do this. I can pop in there and edit this code. It's like I have all these skills. I don't have to spend
you'll
30 hours.
never meet somebody more inclined to find like whatever they're certified in, like when they're trying to go get a job or something. You're like, hey man, I got this forklift certification back in 2008. Here I am. People are looking at you going, we don't operate forklifts here. You're like, listen, man, it's on the resume. Trust me. So, oh man,
I've got my forklift operator certification.
I do too, which is that's why I brought it up. It's so funny to say.
We can
I love
relate.
driving forklifts.
Hey, thanks, Circuit City. I know you're not in business anymore, but you set me up for life.
Man, I'll say when you're in the desert though,
Yeah.
10K AT with air conditioning.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds gnarly.
It's a big
forklift,
forklift.
and you're just
Pivots
got
in the
this
center.
little pod, and you're AC'd in there, and everyone else is roasting outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dying.
were
110 degrees out or worse. Like
You guys want to come around and see my BFF? My
you're like
big
you're stripping off all your stuff in there. You're like, woo, it's getting chilly in here.
In Turkey, we just had regular 10Ks, but we were doing like 12-hour shifts, 5-6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like nonstop. And I would just, forklift.
Brutal.
We started the shift with like 8 forklifts, and there was 3 of us, and we'd drive it pedal to the metal the entire day until you ran out of gas,
God.
and then you got another one until you ran out of gas, and you got another one. And by the end of the shift, you're down to 2 forklifts, and then the next shift comes in, then you go grab the fueling truck and refill them for the next one going on. It was funny. By the end, like the Turkish nationals would like leave their little paper, their stapler, like on the ground. I go over there, pick it up, roll up to him, like, hey, you forgot your stapler. I've got like picked up on the times. It's so funny,
dude.
Good times.
I don't miss that. Yeah, good times for sure. But
Is it in the military? Okay, I was figuring it sounds like that.
Stress when you're there, you're miserable and not having a good time. But looking
Military,
back on
stressful
it, I'm like,
and miserable? Never. Never.
But then they pay for your housing and your food and give you a little allowance, and you're like, okay,
I see.
all right, I got this broken one eye left, but you're paying me money, so we're good.
I'm making like 60 cents an hour.
Oh my goodness.
But like you said earlier, invaluable experiences. Really cool to be able to look back on and just joke about it now, because I mean, like, we weren't in the most deadly career field, but we still lost people. I was in an accident where, like, I can't believe I wasn't a pancake afterwards, like my foot got ran over by 20,000 pound sea can, like on a 60K. Yeah. And I'm like, I still have my foot, so I'm like, I'm
You're
good.
lucky.
I'm so lucky, but yeah, those experiences are really, if you choose to take an experience and grow from it, that's what we're here for, in my opinion.
100%.
You can be stuck with an experience. You can feed off the negativity of it, because we all know that every experience has some negativity in there, but life is really about perspectives. And like, your perspective earlier, you showed me a different perspective just by painting a picture of your life, which is really cool. So
Yeah, wish we had longer than an hour. I could go. There's a lot of nooks and crannies there of character development. But.
Well, you can always come back,
Oh, no, 100%.
For sure.
I think I wanted to ask you a question, because you just said that there, and I was thinking about it. Do you think that's a skill that inherently people can learn, of the alchemy of having a horrible or terrible or failure experience happen to you, and then having the alchemical knowledge, or just taking it emotionally and converting that, what would I think for most people would end up being hate or rage or some sort of thing, and then grasping that, harnessing it. And like, for me, at least in my development, has just been, I used to get so angry about, like, why is this happening to me? Like, excuse me, fuck this. So I can't believe this is happening to me. Okay. And, and I used to just get so torn up about that. And then, I don't know, like, probably in the last, I'm 36. So like probably like the last 8 years of my life, I've really started to transform that alchemical equation to, all right, this happened, let it roll off my back, but then take that and make it into something. So
I think anybody can, but
I hope
have
so.
You have to want to, and, and give your permission to just continue on and let it go.
For sure. And
Like,
there are many paths to do that, I think. And everyone kind of resonates differently with how they want to approach it, and everyone is at a different level of growth. So some people might not even want to do that, which, we want to live in a world where everyone chooses to. And I think we're coming to that eventually. Yeah. But right now, it's very clear that there are just lots of people that are choosing to not heal and to feed on the negativity, and to maybe they even are looking at some solutions and they're like, no, I deserve to be mad. I deserve to be angry. These things happen to me, and I'm going to continue on this negative path. And it's just like, until they have an experience where they feel like they're allowed to break beyond that, it's just kind of like a little cycle. Because, I mean, I was in it and you were in it, and it sounds like you were in it,
Oh man, I was in it.
stuff.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, but like this podcast, hopefully, if there's people listening, that are similar to us, and they're like right on the edge of like, oh, maybe I don't have to be so angry every day, like, and we can share our story of like, we were not that long ago, very angry people,
Yeah.
I was so mad at life, like and then the little things would trigger me, right? The tiny things, like, and so now that I don't have that issue anymore, it's opened up so many different opportunities.
It makes an impact on like social relationships with your friends,
Yeah.
with your family, with like work stuff.
Everything immediately just goes
Everything
up.
It's
Even
crazy.
your physical health too. Like,
Dude.
like it makes a huge impact just on your physical body itself. Like once you start through that process,
Like
it's
people, when they say, "Oh, it feels like a weight's lifted off my shoulders," that's exactly what they're talking about. Is, dude,
if I could bottle up in a little pill, like how
And give it to
how
somebody.
I feel now on a daily basis.
Oh my God.
It's like you can't afford not to go through and do these things. It's like, well, it's not done in like two visits, so like there's no point in even trying. I'm like, I want to shake people sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just like,
hey, you got to commit. You got to want it a little bit, and it's kind of like the saying: "You lead a horse to water, can't make him drink," kind of deal. So everybody starts healing differently.
For sure.
I don't know if you wanted to go into that at all, or
wherever.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I used to be just a mess, and I was kind of a wild child through most of my end of high school to college years.
We all had that period.
Yeah, I think we all do have that period. I think the one tool in the toolkit is like, around here, chiropractic, your new wave stuff upstairs, the red light therapy, like all that's well and good. You know what really did it for me was meditation. And I still do it to this day. And it's hard to put into words. I mean, I'm on a very, very like intermediate level of meditation, I would say, but where you come home and you just take however long it is that you need. For me, it's about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, maybe more, but whoever you are, whatever you need. And you just clear all thoughts. And the moment a thought comes to your head, you just take a deep breath, and you just really, really good deep breathing. And you just kind of think to yourself as less of, you try not to think, but you just sit there in silence. And I generally find that when I can do that and I sit there for 20, 30 minutes and just enjoy existence, my mind afterwards is so much sharper and calmer, and I just feel better. And that was really one of the biggest things that's helped me out in my life. And they count to 3 or count backwards from 10 or whatever it is, or just enjoy some silence and be at peace with yourself. And a lot of people can't do that.
Oh. It's tough.
And it's really tough. You'll sit there and it's race. What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I've had some talks with people like, well, how do you meditate? And there's like, well, you just think about nothing. It's like, how do you do that?
It's really
and
hard to
brain's
describe
just
to people.
Like, I'm like, how do I convey that? You just find that place. You put yourself in that like piece. Like anything that comes up, like, great, thanks for showing me that. Just let it go. Like you're flying through just beautiful white clouds. Or
whatever, how do you get rid of a thought? Well, you let it come into your head, and then you go. And just let it slide away. And I don't know, it's hard for me to explain, and I'm never going to do a good job of doing it. But you're right. You wish you could bottle it up into a little pill and just give it to somebody. Be like, here, take this. It'll explain everything. And then you go, oh, I get it now. I understand why you would want to do that. Close second for me would have been after my brother passed away, I started taking a journal. And I still have them. I don't do it anymore. It's more of a mental thing for me now, where when I fall asleep at night, I spend 15 minutes kind of rewriting my day or going through it. But for a while there, I actually had to have a journal just every single day to like write down how I felt, what things were going well, what I was doing good, what I was doing bad, how to improve. And just that really helped me, because you could go back and you could follow a trail of like weeks of, oh, I'm doing better. And then you'd hit a really gnarly spot where you're like, man, I'm really not doing well today. And then you'd go back and look at, but see all these days that I added up, man, that's 12 days of really good days. And it's just a bad day, man. Take a deep breath, move forward. And that really, really helped too.
Don't sit in it, right? Like feel it. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Don't be ashamed of emotions, right? We're all human. We all, those emotions come up fast, and it's hard to deal with sometimes, depending on what the situation is. But just feel it, anger, sadness, whatever, like you said, and push forward, move on. Don't let it control you, right? Don't let it trap you and get that vicious little cycle.
Poison you.
Yeah, that's part of what the journaling.
Poison.
And
what the journaling
it's
does.
almost
Like,
you're
it's out of your
willingly
head.
doing it, right? And it's crazy because when I was doing it to myself, it was hard to understand that it was myself. I thought it was like bad luck, and I just
Because you don't get the 30,000-foot view, but everybody around you can see it, and they're like, "Are you like?" People would kind of, "Are you okay, man?" Like, "Yeah, I'm fine." They're like, you sure? You've been all day in the corner, like
got this
"Listen,
negative
man."
aura, like
Yeah, just. But I mean, people pick up on that. But you're right, 100%.
Yeah. It's wild. Once you figure it out, and like I said earlier, for me it was just like it took some experiences, unique ones, and some unique healing. I've talked about my mushroom trips and stuff like that earlier, and it's really cool to hear about your meditation and your journaling because I do both of those.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Those are all tools that have kind of jumped out to me, and whether it was a YouTube video or a book or whatever, or a friend that mentioned it, it somehow got to my brain and resonated with me and was like, you should try this, and the more I was willing to kind of reach out and try these different things, the more I was growing and healing. And like we talked about, it's like everything just kind of flows better. Your attitude is just ready to tackle the day in a positive way. Whereas before it was in a negative way, and
Every tiny little thing would just
every tiny
set
little
you
thing.
off.
Yeah.
What's crazy about that too is both those emotions, whether they're positive or negative, there's a snowball effect on both of those. And when you start really, like, I would just call it, I'm really feeling myself. Like you're just really, you got momentum, I guess is the word for it. You just feel good. Your mental state's good. You just, every single day you wake up, you're just happy. Hey, I made it to the wake up list today. Like, here we go. Let's go. And I truly believe that is, I mean, people got to stop and smell the roses sometimes, because that is a real treat to feel that. And it's something that, again, you can't put a price on it. I can't deliver it to you in some kind of pill, or you can't read my mind. I can't plug you into the matrix like Neo and be like, listen, dude, take all my experience and enjoy all that.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. But nope, you're going to have to go through your own deal, and you're going to have to figure it out for yourself. And then you're going to have to do what works for you, because it's so funny you said that. I think journaling, there was some back when I had social media. I have zero social media other than just for the business, because social media, dude.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy, and social media, half of that stuff is just not even real. So why even bother?
It's hard.
But when I did have social media, I think I saw some influencer was like, here's my journal and here's how I do it. And I was like, journaling. Okay. And then I had my brother passed away and I had all that going on. I was like, I don't know what it was that called me to that. And I was called to, I got to start writing stuff down because there was too much going on in here.
Had to get it out.
And I had to do something because I
Download
couldn't
it.
talk about it to a lot of people. And it was just write it out. And then as I started doing that on, like I was saying, a streak of doing that, oh my goodness, I actually feel way better. Yeah.
So you don't loop on it anymore, because it allows you to revisit it, process it, and then get it out of your head. And it just, that's like the final release and let go.
That's something you've talked about quite a bit, is the loop.
Yeah.
And there's different ways that people experience that loop. And but there's so many different tools you can use, and there's so many different things that work. And that's what's cool about like bringing people on and hearing their stories, is like, it's totally different than what I've experienced, but you have similar tools. You have journaling,
my
and
toolkit
meditation.
and your toolkit and his toolkit, everybody's toolkit, it's going to look similar or different.
Yeah.
But if you're happy and it's working for you, like aside from just like, hey man, I'm freebasing meth out in the garage, that's really helping me with my mental state. I'm going to be like, hey brother, I don't think that's where we're headed with this.
Wrong idea.
Yeah. Have you tried journaling?
I'm sure they journal everything.
Yeah, man. Oh my goodness.
Get a motorcycle instead.
Oh my!
Slightly safer.
I could go on for hours about my love for motorcycling
Dude,
in the last
that was a big stepping stone for me.
Dude.
Like I was just living at home, not in a good place at all, and it was just like
Freedom.
family did not want me to do it at all. Like, and I need to do this, but like I got out of the house, and that was the first time that like when I got on the bike by myself going down the road, and it was just like this entire just like cloak was just ripped off, and I'm just like I feel free, and my body's light, and just the wind blowing through. I was just like I feel like this,
and
is
you
what
can't
I was
explain
missing.
it to people unless you do it.
Yes.
And dude, I was against motorcycling for my adult life. Why would you ever do something of the sorts? And now me today, looking back at that guy, no, absolutely not. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
My friend Brent kind of convinced our little group of people to get motorcycles, and I was super against it, but they were like peer pressuring the hell out of me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm at a point in my life now where I'm kind of willing, like I'm going to send it. Like, let's do it. And I remember getting my motorcycle, and the rest is history on that too. Oh my God. Getting out on the road and being free and being so close to just nature, God, whatever it is that you're finding out there on the road. When you are cruising at 60, especially in this area, right now, wildflowers are blooming. You'll hit up past Lassen there, and you just get like the smells change.
Yeah.
It is the most therapeutic thing that I think anybody could do. Now you got to get past the fact that you're on a motorcycle, I guess. But once you get past the fact there and you kind of get a good skill set going and you're riding safely, you're out hot rodding, man, it is a religious experience. And I don't know how to describe it other than that.
Yeah.
I would 100% agree. That's really cool. That's crazy that you also ride because we have a little history of riding together.
And he's kind of telling me that the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool,
and it's
man."
been a while, it's been a long time, but the things you described, I have definitely experienced. And it was just like a taste of peace. It didn't fix anything for me. It didn't bring me towards any like healing ultimately. But in the moment, it's what I needed because I had a lot of turmoil and chaos, and the wheels were just like, it's how I got to work. It's how it's everything. It was my whole life. I had my backpack and my motorcycle, and like
Calms your mind.
oh man,
That's how we ended
that's
up
all I had to
reconnecting.
focus on, and it was so nice because like, I had a lot going on, and eventually I had to face it all. But yeah, in that moment,
Well, the motorcycle doesn't afford you to think about anything else, which I think is one of the
I like that.
benefits
Yeah, I
of
really
it.
like
Is it's
that.
really is if you're a terrible rider, you're actually going to put yourself into. If you're thinking about
true.
something else, it's the same at the shop. Like I'll be working on a tool where if you're even for a second, like the table saw is a really good example. Or we have a free shaper which has no guards on it. And sorry, Mom. And if I am thinking about anything else, that is not a good deal. You need to be focused. So motorcycles, same thing. Got to be super focused on what you're doing. But what that provides you is that you rip the cloak off, everything. You just got your backpack on your back, and you are just cruising. And before I get too old or pass away somehow, I want to make sure that I get a nice motorcycle, like a cruiser motorcycle, and I want to ride up from like Southern California coast all the way up to Oregon. I have to do it because I know that's a religious experience.
Just like
for
camp
sure.
along the way and see the redwoods.
Why not? Yeah, dude, do everything. Stop in, check out places, see friends, go places that you could only get on two wheels, and just man, dude,
Beautiful coastline.
oh my God,
I've done a few parts of it just here and there.
I have not, but I've mostly been around here, and I got my license in Florida when I was stationed in Florida, and then I moved back to Cali. So did a little riding in Florida, which is crazy. There's, like, people think drivers are crazy here. It's no comparison. Like, not only are the native people, I love Florida, by the way, but the people that live there, horrible drivers. But then you also have tourists who have no idea of any of the rules of the road or what's going on there. And so it's just a bad mix of, So I learned to ride in a pretty chaotic environment. And when I came here and I found my other bike, and that thing is a slug. It only goes like 70 miles an hour. So like I I couldn't put myself in danger other than like going too slow maybe, but
Yeah, you could do that.
you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
But it had enough torque to where I was like, I could get to where I needed to go if whatever was going on. But yeah, I came here and I saw that you were riding and then you had was it the 390?
I had a 390 at that point.
And then you upgraded and then it was like, you were just posting these videos of like it was like your throttle what was it?
The
anti-wheelie. Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Anti-wheelie. Curtis, in POV Curtis undoing the Allen key that's like, wheelie? Yeah. Anti-wheelie? Nah, dog, that ain't me.
I had no idea what that was when you sent me that. I was like, what is going on here? But man, I treasure those moments, and I'm so glad that you invited me on those rides with all those folks. Like I don't even know any of them to this day, but they were all faster than me. But I was like,
at that time we had a group.
You know what I've noticed about motorcycling? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just exactly what you said there. I have ridden with a couple of people just in groups that I don't even know their names. I just identify them by their motorcycle at this point. And I still, to this day, like it brings something to me where I go, I can't even remember that dude's name. Like, you know, this ride that we went on, but everybody is cool. It literally is a brotherhood of people.
It is.
And I mean, there's always bad apples and everything, but you know how many times I'm just cruising on my motorcycle and some random dude on another motorcycle is just giving you the universal, like, hey, 2 wheels, dog. We
Stay
know.
alive. Yeah, man.
And it's awesome. And I love that. And it's like a little nugget, little candy, but you know,
that's something I miss. I got to get my bike fixed.
At that period, I'd stop and talk.
Am I getting you all jazzed for biking again?
All right, man. I love it. Right. I did not expect this, man.
Riding season's right now. I almost got myself in trouble with the local MCs because every time I'd meet someone on a bike, like, here's my number, and I'd text, and I'd just shoot out a mass text to Pete, and all of a sudden, like 20, 30 bikes would show up.
Big crew, man.
Big group, and like they're like, you can't assemble, and I'm like, we're just a group of friends, my guy. Like,
Wait, what MCs do we have here?
There's like 3 or 4.
Really?
The new Hell's Angels headquarter is up there past Whiskey Town on the hill.
That. I forgot.
So
every time I ride past some motorcycle, I'm like,
They tried jamming us. They tried jamming us up at a gas station one day, and I'm just like, dude, like we're just a group of friends. You can't ride with more than 3 people. And I'm like, there's 30 of us right now. Like, what do you?
Listen, dude, I'm just trying to capture whatever that is on the bike for my soul. I don't want to run guns.
No Sons of Anarchy here, man.
Yeah. No, it was fun though. It was.
I mean, that comes with the the motorcycle culture a little bit. It's
a little bit, but
it can be dangerous. It can be fun. You know, you can run into people that are very serious about it. But the way I treated it, and it sounds like how you guys are, is just amazing. It's a healing thing, man.
I came in from the dual sport side, so it's like nature is one of my favorite things in the world, and it is like we could go into that. Being out in nature, like he and I are going to go on a pretty big hike here in the middle of summer coming up, and it's like we do it every single year. We go up into the Trinities. We call it the Death March, and we go for 22, 25 miles over a course of a couple of days, 4,000, 5,000 feet of elevation gain. And it is just, it's nothing but suck while you're doing it. But when you get to the campsite and you're at like a High Mountains Lake and you're sitting there with some of your best buddies in this entire life, and you're just like, yeah, this is pretty cool. You wake up in the morning and it's mountains and just nothing. Anyway, came in from the dual sport side, and that has been really cool because it's nature and motorcycles, and you just put them together, and it's great.
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing to do. Is like just get 2 or 3 friends, go rip up to Yaks and Mount Shasta or something, or out to Lassen, and
anyway,
just like that's
what's
we're
cool.
surrounded by beauty.
Yeah,
dude.
it's fun.
Yeah, this is one of the cool people. I know I'll hear people talk bad about Redding, which it's got its underbelly. Like it's not great, but if you think about Redding as a whole, especially where it's located here in California specifically, we are like 3 hours in any direction from anything that you'd like to do, anything outdoors. We have I mountain bike too. So I have like we have some literally the best mountain bike trails in the world here in Redding.
Phenomenal.
Outside around here. We have some of the best fishing in the world. We have some of the best kayaking routes. We have some of the best, I mean, you name it, man. If you're outdoorsy, this is a spot. For sure.
We have lakes. We have Mount Shasta, Mount Lassen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those are the big ones, but you You
And
can
you're
look
3 hours
anywhere.
from the coast.
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Or you're 3 hours from, or 4
Oregon.
hours from Tahoe.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I've
Crater
kayaked
Lake.
on Tahoe. That is way more dangerous than people lead on it to be,
sure.
but it is awesome.
I was going to ask you about what you ride. What's your bike?
Oh, so I have a 2002 old school DRZ 400
Oh.
E, and I've upgraded a bunch of stuff on it now to where it fits me for what I'm doing.
Cool.
It's a beginner bike.
Yeah.
I bought it. It's a flying couch. It's comfortable. It's awesome. It tops out 65, 70 miles an hour, but I'll ride that thing on the highway. I don't care.
Yeah, same.
And it's bright banana yellow.
Yeah, super
It's
bright.
so awesome.
That's cool,
I
man.
love it. And then I've done some custom painting on it where I've taken like white high heat paint and I've put over a couple on the things that are like worn out and whatnot. And it looks
cool.
cherry. I really enjoy that bike, but I'm starting to get to the point where I think it's in the next, I want to say 5 years, I'll probably have a different bike. I'm keeping that one.
Yeah.
That one's special, but probably going to get a cruiser bike of some sort, like a Sport Bob, just cafe racer, maybe. I don't know.
I want
Cool.
a cafe racer.
A cafe racer would be pretty cool, but I just know myself well enough to know that that's going to be dangerous for me.
Yeah, no, that's actually my bike is a Honda CB750.
Oh, awesome.
But it's not on the cafe frame. It's on a custom bob. And it's so nice.
Dude, anything cafe racer custom bobbed is just, if you don't look at a motorcycle like that and go, man, that's sweet.
Oh,
I can't help you, brother.
that's where my heart is, man. And I live in an apartment. I don't have a garage, so my pops, he lives in Cottonwood, and he keeps it for me. But it's been garage kept for a few years, and it's just, At some point, I'm going to be on the road again, and I feel like this moment is really propelling me towards
Get back on
that. Yeah, so.
You got to do it.
I literally just can't stop talking or thinking about motorcycles now.
I've done it. I've done it. I've corrupted them both into motorcycles.
Thank you.
We can't think about anything else. We had a whole script. I don't know where it's at now.
It's gone. Just throw it. Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't a good, I guess if it wasn't a healing experience, I wouldn't even bother bringing it up.
For sure.
If, like you were saying, it can be a gateway to it.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't solve anything, but there is something magical about it.
Yes. That's
sorry,
a
you're gonna
perfect
ask
way to
something.
put it.
No,
Yeah.
I was just back towards like hiking in nature, that kind of thing.
Oh, well,
Like, where have you gone? Like, what's one of the coolest hikes that you've been on?
oh my God. I mean, the Trinity's out backyard here is just, this will be my third death march. I'm in way better shape for it this time too.
Good.
Like I've just been on this absolute weight loss journey here
Good.
too, which is good. And I am super excited this year. But I got to tell you that's one of the favorite ones I've been to. But I was waterfall chasing around here for a while, where I would just go to every single waterfall.
Yeah,
And
Beautiful ones, man.
yeah, we have a ton in this area. There is one that I want to go to. I believe it's called Alameda Falls. It's down south, and it's a coastal waterfall. So it shoots off the side of a mountain, not a mountain, but it comes off the side of a hill cliff.
Cliffside, yeah.
Yeah, into the coastline. And it's, I want to go check that out.
Beautiful.
And allegedly you can only access it when it's at low tide, I think.
Okay.
Like the path to get up
Right.
to it. But the other one that has a kind of a special place in my heart, I mean, Bernie Falls is obviously right there.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Everybody's been there.
Yeah.
And that place is just amazing to go and walk around. Moss Bray Falls is also there. That's the one you got to walk on the railroad tracks. So you're not technically supposed to do, but everybody does.
Yeah.
It's like,
Don't get
that one's cool because the water there, I don't know what it is about the water specifically right there, but it is just ice cold. I mean, I know snow melt, obviously, but
sure,
it is. You want to talk about healing? Go hike right there and then submerge in ice cold water.
We got to take you to Mount Shasta.
Yeah, I want to go up to Mount Shasta.
My parents
get in
have
that
a-
water and try to
there's-
meditate as long as you can. Ooh.
My parents have 40 acres up there just on the hill, and there's a little creek that runs through it. And it's all glacier runoff. So you go out there, and like that was
Stop! I can
before-
only take so much.
Right?
before cold plunges were a thing. It was like you go and you jump in the creek,
Yeah.
and you submerge yourself for as long as you can possibly
yeah.
sit there. So like 20 seconds, if that. And then you jump out, but it's like
If you make it 30 seconds, you're like a champion.
it feels so good.
Somebody hands you a belt and a beer.
I would. Yeah.
It's shallow enough where you can just set chairs in there with your feet like up into your ankles, right, and then just hang out.
I would love to try that. Yeah. I would love it.
That would be awesome.
I wanted to ask you real quick, where are there specific areas in the Trinities that you come across on the hike? Because my family, we go on an annual camping trip to the Trinities, and it's been going on for like 30 plus years. So I'm familiar with the area that I'm at, but I know it's a big area.
Where are you at?
So we camp at Bridge Camp.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar.
Are you familiar with that? Okay.
Yeah. The best way to answer it is if I don't have all trails in front of me or the other one, OX Overland or whatever it is. But basically there are, I think it's Highway 7. I can't remember. There's a bunch of different highways there, and they all have these access points.
Right.
Some are harder than others. We're going to run the gambit this year and really go for it, I think. And I don't have it in front of me, obviously, so I can't tell you. But the one that I'm familiar with is we went up Deer Canyon, which is you roll up to it, and then it's just straight up. And it starts out slow at first, then you get up there, and then everything interconnects, which is the awesome part about it. So you're going to get up there, and you're going to have like the Four Lakes loop is the one that we always make sure that we hit at some point, whether we come in from the Granite Lake side or we come in from, I think it's Echo Lake side, which is another entry point. But
is there Sapphire Lake too?
Yeah, Sapphire Lake's up there.
That's the one I'm familiar with. So.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit further. Okay. My compass.
Yeah, you're trying to.
I'm compassing.
Sorry. I put you on the spot here. Yeah, good. My bad.
I'm trying to compass in real time. And all of it's interconnected. So the main paths around the Four Lakes Loop, I mean, no way you slice the pie. You're going to be climbing and descending 4,000 to 5,000 feet most of the time. And on the one I think we're going to do this year, it's going to be closer to 6, and it's up over the ridge to Granite Lake. And we're still discussing on how we're going to do all of it, but it's like,
I was going to ask, like, what do you take with you? You know, like how much food do you take?
I mean,
do you plan to hunt? Like, is that like?
No, you can out there. I think we don't do that. It's mainly just we get all the guys together for a guys trip, and we go out there because everybody loves doing it. But
get out,
and our mileage coverage per day might be like 7-8 miles, depending on which path we chose. And then by the time you get to camp, we used to do it in 2 days, and it was brutal. It's like 13 miles, get to camp.
It's a long day.
I don't want to do anything. And then get up and do it again. And then you're like, it was fun. It was cool. But we've now since moved it to where it's 3 days. And that's perfect. You get 3 days, 2 nights. You get to your campsite. Typically there's 6 to 7 of us. I think this year, if you're coming now, we might have 10 people with us, which the more the better up there, more the merrier. Because we get to slinging stories around a campfire, like out in front of a high mountain lake. And we got, you bring 3 days worth of food, maybe a reserve a bit. It kind of depends, but
for sure.
I bought a really nice Kelty Alice pack, and I have it set up to where I can put like 35 pounds, 40 pounds in it, and it's not terrible. But I'm a big boy, so I can carry it around.
That frame helps.
The frame's huge because what I end up doing is I tie all of my sleeping bag, all the weird stuff. I just bungee cord it and wrap it in line and just cushion it, and then it just sits there, and I got all my other stuff inside my bag. I love that stuff.
Me too.
That is high living, man.
For sure.
And I forget, we looked it up one time, but it's we did the math. It's like what percentage of people actually go and hike something like that in their entire lives, and it's like less than 0.1 or something or whatever of the population small, or something. And you go, how could you not? You got one to get into shape to get up there and do it, but if you've never woken up on the side of a mountain, come out of your tent, and the sunlight is just hitting like the cascade of the Trinity, and you're looking out, and behind you is like a glistening lake, and you're just like, it's hard not to, I'm smiling right now. It's hard not to be absolutely stoked.
Yeah, no, just take that breath in.
Yeah, life's good.
That's a unique beauty that, like you said, it takes a little bit of effort because you got to be in shape, and you got to, like it's better to go with friends because if you go solo, it's a little dangerous, you know, like if something happens,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, like we got to take you to Mount Shasta.
I want to coordinate a trip up there.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
easy to
can
get
we make
to.
an appointment with your family?
I got the keys. We can go up there.
Yeah,
whenever we
okay.
want.
All right, let's go. All right. That's cool though. I love to hear about that kind of stuff, man. Like, and that's unique to you, you know, and to share that with us, like, yeah, I feel a cool perspective shift already, like I was talking about earlier. And every episode that happens, we just start talking about things, and I'm like, wow, that's cool.
I think I would say, to cap that all off, nothing worth having ever comes free, ever.
You got to work for it.
You got to
somehow.
work for it, whether that's hiking up to it to get the views, or spending like brutality time in the gym and the pain cave, getting in shape so that you can do it and not be the guy holding everybody up, or whatever it is that you're doing. Nothing ever worth having ever came free.
For sure.
Takes a little bit of effort.
I finally hit that point where after my workouts, I feel good.
Yeah.
There was 2 workouts ago. I'm like, I actually feel good. I don't like headache, sore. Just like I wiped out. I'm like, I did bike like 8 miles on the Peloton, and I went to work, and I'm just like, I feel amazing right now. This never happens to me.
I'm still not going to let it go that you tried to murder me at that yoga class. But that was okay. That was a side swipe. I'm not prepared for that. Oh, no.
Oh, so
It's not that bad, Aaron. You can go in. It's fine.
It's just some push-ups, a little HIIT class. So we go to this balance yoga. They do this hot HIIT class. So they heat the room up to like 95 to 105 degrees. And there's
Hot HIIT.
Hot
Oh
HIIT.
my
So you
goodness.
do interval training. It's like they do like an AB.
Hey, to be fair, everybody watching, I did complete the workout.
Let's go.
I did do that, but it was miserable. I almost died.
We brought another friend. He threw up the first time.
Oh, of course.
And,
yeah, I probably
like,
would too.
It's hot, so you just do like it's 2 moves. You do like AB, 30 seconds each.
Okay.
And then you go do like 10 different sets.
And like
of
super
different
dynamic stuff too.
So you go from like shoulders to backs to knees. So you're doing burpees to squats to crunches to leg lifts to like barbells, and
Getting
it's
sick thinking about it right now, dude.
Yeah, like the first 20 minutes, you go, okay, this is like, okay. And then like that last 20 minutes, that last 10, you're just like, oh man, I think I made a mistake.
Yeah, but they do it twice, right? So it's 10 moves, and you run all the way through. Then you do it a second time, and it's always funny because you see the brand new people come in there, and they start off, and they're just like they're just going hard. Right,
You're
hard.
like, what, hold on,
you got to
guys.
pace yourself,
Yeah, wait.
and then we get to the end, and they're like, man, I'm cooked. Like, okay, now we're starting back from the top, and they're like, what?
You're like huffing and
And
puffing,
they're like
man.
done, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, I slowly glance over at Curtis, and he's like,
yeah, like, I mean, it's a good learning experience,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
oh yeah.
yeah.
I think people should pursue physical endeavors. I think people, if you want a quick cure to any problem that you're having physically, outside of like obviously a really serious medical condition, if you want to improve your mood, mentality, whatever it might be, go to the gym. Literally, go start running, walk. Like the way I got back into it is I was super overweight, and I've really come back down now. But I started just by walking, like around my cul-de-sac, simple.
Yeah.
And then that evolved into jogging, and then that evolved into, well, now I know I need to go back to the gym and actually start hitting weights and stuff. Again, I wish we could bottle up into a pill
Yeah.
and hand it to somebody and go, here. This is what you will feel better. You will think better. You will operate better. Your mood will be like, man, I love it. Anyway.
You got to get past the first week though, man. 'cause
Oh
it's like-
no, the perpetual soreness cycle.
It's brutal, man. And I think my issue was I would try it for a little bit and like I wouldn't see results, and like not just physically, but like I was hoping for the mental aspect, right? I'm like, okay, this is going to clear my mind. And so I would go do it, and I'm like, I don't feel any better. And so I'd quit. And so like, you got to give it a week. You know, you got to like be consistent for a little bit, and your body and your mind will show you
6 months to a
that
year.
it's going to work.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's
going,
like, it's one of the most tried and true tropes. But
it
you're right.
is. It can only respond in a positive way if you're going to do those things. You know,
Consistently.
And so, consistently.
You
Exactly.
can't go once a week
Right.
and then eat in and out the rest of the week and be like, I'm into fitness. Like, no, you're into fitting girls in your mouth, dude.
I mean, In-N-Out's decent. You know, it's a good choice, right?
I'm just
I would
making
say
a joke.
Burger King. No.
Oh man, brother. Hey, I had it out the other day. I'm not hating. Trust me. Trust me.
No, me either. My girl works there, so I just had to say something. Like, I love In-N-Out.
You gotta pursue physical endeavors.
Yes.
I think if you want to really squeeze every last ounce of juice that not only that you can get out of life, but just life itself. Because I'll be honest, and I've just noticed this as I've gotten into better shape, is people treat you differently.
Oh yeah.
And like especially when I've been on a couple of these new jobs that we're doing, showed up to one job, the one I've sent you pictures of, the oak mantle and everything, and I've never met this guy before in my entire life, and roll up there, and I just gotten fresh haircut, and I was in work attire and whatnot, but like he complimented, he's like, I like that, man, snazzy, like nice cut, good, basically, hey, yeah, like, looking sharp, dude, and whatnot. And I can, it's like a mutual respect thing.
You immediately get that respect because like getting there, like,
you had to do something. Not, you can't fake that.
It's not something that happens in 1 week. Like that's consistent life habits where you take care of yourself. You have the discipline to wake up every morning or every like, a couple days a week and follow through with it. And like people immediately see that.
And it resonated with me because I look at the same people, like people that are in shape and people that I'm around that are like in good health or take care of themselves. I immediately go, oh, you can't fake that. Like that person had to work hard for that. There's pain cave hours on that person for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that is it's a mutual respect. And you don't even realize it half the time. You're just like, shake somebody's hand, firm handshake, et cetera, all that stuff. But
it's almost like the vibrations just match. You get near someone and you're like, oh, we're doing kind of the same things. Good on you, man.
People.
Yeah.
When you have that energy, like when you're in that positive, like I'm going somewhere in my life, I've got purpose, I'm feeling good, like you attract people that are in that same situation. Like you just meet them in the road, you're like, we could be like, I immediately want to get to know more about you. And
100%.
someone else that's
just doing the other stuff.
Stuff is like, okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah. And it's not like you don't have to hate them or throw shade or anything. You can just even do what we're doing and be the light, and maybe they'll see us and be like, that's better, like I don't have to be miserable, or I don't have to like hold on to this stuff or whatever, just do what we're doing, just heal and grow, and that stuff, your friends and your family will look to you. I don't know if they have for you, but like they look to me, and I know they look to you, and it's like you're not pushing anything, right? You're not like, this is my religion, or like, or whatever.
Oh God, no.
It's just I'm being the best version of myself for everyone.
Yep.
And everyone can do that. And not everyone does that, right? And so that's a strong message, I think, is like we can all be a light for someone in your life and help them illuminate a path for them, and then they can see it and hopefully take it, right? Because we're not here to like force people to heal. If they want to hold on to it, they want to hold on to it, but it's so much better on the other side when you realize like you don't have to hold on to all those negative things that are affecting you every day, and you don't realize it. It's a choice, and you can make that choice. Yeah.
It's doing somebody a disservice by taking away their pain, like robbing them of that experience that like they need to work through that to have that tool moving forward.
Yep.
And hell, you might not even know that you're a light for somebody else. That's one thing that I notice is, and I kind of get that a bit from when we put cabinets in someplace and they're beautiful, and like I'll take pictures of it and stuff, and then people will come look at it later, and we've gotten jobs like you might see something and you see somebody or something, and it brings like, you might not even know
exactly
that you've changed somebody's life, or that you've been in, like for me, actually, I get it at the gym. I get inspired by other people at the gym that are there just working their asses off.
Absolutely.
And, every once in a while too, you'll be working really hard and you turn around, like one of the guys that is just always there at the same time you're there just gives you one of the bro nods. And then I'll do the same thing for him. When I do, dude, that dude just killed a set of deadlifts. So I'll go,
let's go.
Look, and he's just like, yeah, brother. Yeah. It's like, unspoken. I don't know that dude's name. I don't know who he is, but I'm vibing. I like that
for sure.
So
that's a really cool way to put that, man. Yeah.
You might never know that you're a light for somebody else, but that's all the more important for you to stay on the path and stay on focus, on brand, on whatever it is that you're doing and whatever you're trying to do and build or whatever
for
it
yourself.
might be. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And it sounds selfish, right? And we've talked about that before, is like, when we're saying to heal and grow and to work on yourself, and
it almost feels guilty.
It does, right? And that's something that I struggled with, was like, I loved helping people from from, like school on, right? Like I was in classes that were like helped with conflict resolution and things like that. And so I never worked on myself. And so it kind of backfired on me. I joined the military, and the military just kind of swoops you up, and you're like, you're doing all this stuff for a while, right? And then you get out and you're like, oh, now I'm like way older and I've like all these weird things happen to me. And like, what do I do? And that's when my writing came in. That's why I was like, all right, I'm just going to hit the road and feel free for a little bit. And then I found my way. I took little steps here and there, mushrooms and meditation and journaling. And yeah, it's never ending, right?
Yeah.
We're on the path now, but it's like the path is until you die. So like, and it's a lifestyle kind of change. It's a different mentality that you kind of encompass, when you choose to heal and to be that light.
Yeah,
for yourself.
100%.
And it's for being there for the people you care about. Like if you don't have your health, if you're not in the right, you can't show up for the family or the kids, or like
you can, but it's 50%.
For the
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
When you end up being a grandma or grandpa, it's like, do you want to be there for 2 years, or do you want to be there for 10 or 15 years or 20 years of their life? Like,
do you want to be an active participant?
Yeah.
Or do you want to be a
bystander?
I was going to say bystander, pedestrian, but an observer. For something.
That's better for sure. Yeah, that's a very good way to put
it. That truly though.
Are you living your life, or are you observing your life? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like you always hear those tropes too of are you alive or are you living? And it's like
thriving.
Thriving
right now.
That should be your response. Thriving, brother.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Working forward. Mm-hmm. And on the other side of it too, especially I think about this more or less with business, is when I first started working with my dad, like he would tell me to go sit in the corner because he didn't trust me to do a lot of different stuff.
No.
He's like, hey, you're a grown ass man, but you need to go sit in the corner because I need to be shown that you have some skills. And obviously I don't have a lot of the skill sets that I obviously now have today. If I went back in time,
right,
I'd be just running circles around myself. But if you're going to be part of this business and you're going to do this, I think about, well, what does growth look like? Well, growth might be 10 hard years of you getting after it, which is, it's been 8 for me, but my skill level, what does that look like if you put it on a graph? What does that look like when you put it on a chart? What does the business look like when you put it on a chart? How do you put a visualization to what am I doing and am I making improvements?
Right.
Now that might be for some people, they hit it lightning in a bottle and it's a year and their business is off and thriving and it's crazy. And for some other people, like I think it's going to be for myself, is just we've been slowly curtailing the business into something that's functional. My dad's been on his own for 45 years or whatever it is. He hasn't had employees or anything. So now he's got me, and it's like, how do we make a business that's worth something? And then we've already solved the problem of, do we have a good product? Like we have an excellent product, but we have almost no marketing. All our business has been word of mouth. And like Curtis has told me a ton, like I'm working on it. Like I'm getting that website built and getting all those things done.
Yeah, it's hard.
But sorry, I'm running around this point.
Oh, you're
at
good.
the end of the road, at the end of the day, I have to look at, am I making more money per year? And if I'm not making more money per year, is the business excelling? Am I progressing?
Yeah.
Is my craft getting better?
Right.
Are the things that used to give me hours of trouble, are they like a 20-minute experience now?
Yeah.
And if people would take a step back and look at that and whatever it is that they're excited about, that should be your only guide. Not if you're making $2 billion per year, if you're making more money than your friends or whatever it might be. It's, hey, dude, do you find peace? Are you improving in the thing that you've chosen to do with your life? Now, a lot of people have chosen to do really poor jobs, or they've chosen to do things that they're not stoked about.
Right.
I can't help you with that. But if you figure out what you're into, setting up New Wave, healing, running a cabinet shop, etc., if you can figure out something that you can do and then you can transform it and slowly build it over time, when you reach to the end, people will be like, oh, it was an overnight success. And then you'll go, no, dude, I've been working my ass off for the last 10 years trying to make this thing work.
Yeah.
And now I'm cresting the roller coaster ride. And a lot of people never get to the roller coaster ride.
Yeah, they quit before they get there.
One of my biggest influencers, I'd say in the last 2 years, 3 years, is Alex Hormozy.
Oh yeah.
And on YouTube. And he's one of the few guys I actually listen to and I go, that dude's actually done it. Because there's a lot of gurus out there and they'll tell you, but when I listen to his stuff and I listen to some of his stories, I go, man, that's just like me in some of these scenarios. Or I'm really sucking wind here doing this. So I would hope that eventually at the end of the line, when somebody looks at you and says, oh, it was an overnight success. Like, no, dog, it's not been an overnight success. Not at all.
Yeah.
But the people that have been there around that have seen it happen over time, they'll be your biggest supporters. Or at least that would be the goal. Like have your friends be your biggest cheerleaders for that kind of stuff.
For sure.
Anyway.
Always grow, always moving forward.
100%.
Well, and it takes, that's a good way to move forward and think about when you're running a business. But I feel like it takes effort to get into that mind frame, right? You're not.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of businesses will fail because of that. I feel
first
like,
year?
yeah, they just, it's too much or not. The perspective is there's no growth, there's nothing changing. And so what you mentioned was, okay, yeah, first thing you want to look at financially, how are we doing? We're doing okay? All right, what's next, right? There's other things that are growth and our business is affecting different things. Are we doing positive things here? Oh yeah, okay, let's keep going.
How much new equipment is my shop right now? Okay, so I only made $20,000 this year. That's just a random number.
Yeah, for sure.
How many new pieces of, there's $80,000 worth of equipment in my shop now. I have this machine that does this thing now and whatnot. And like, people can't do that switcheroo a lot of the time. Huh?
Oh, you're good.
Oh, no.
Equipment malfunction.
Equipment malfunction. That's
That's right. We have edits for that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How are we looking at time? That's an hour?
An hour.
No way.
Started at
No
44.
way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what it
Keep
feels
going.
like.
Do it.
Well, the cameras are going to die in a minute, so.
Okay.
So I guess we'll have to close it up then.
Yeah.
But wow, I feel like we should do episode 3, part 2.
I think so.
Like,
I think we gotta, dude, this was awesome.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's my fault because I got us talking about motorcycles and
no
for
worries.
15 minutes.
No
Yeah,
worries.
right there.
Maybe you just
There
hold
you go.
it.
Just hold it for a second.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Created like a corn cob
Part two.
baby.
Yeah. The first time we sat down, we were like both super nervous, and at the end, we're like, "That was an hour." Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that was a 10-minute
Oh,
conversation.
man.
Like, holy, like, that was
Yeah.
crazy.
That's why I love podcasts.
Yeah.
It's just amazing because it's us three having a conversation room. And I mean, I just met you today and we are vibing and I love that.
Dude,
And then it's
you.
anybody else who's on the internet's like, I feel like I'm in a fourth chair next to those guys,
Yeah.
which is great.
Join us. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be the goal, right? That you have a podcast that's like that because you don't want to get somebody on here who's like, I don't know what to say, man. What do I do?
For sure.
Talks like this.
Yeah. No, and
I'm
that's
really
not what
afraid.
happened today, right? We
No.
ran out of time. And,
Oh my goodness. I would be honored to come back by for a part 2.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on, being our first guest, making history, dude.
Yeah, man, hell yeah.
2 guys on the path. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
See you next time.
We will see you next time. Yeah, make sure you subscribe and comment. That was so cool.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude.
That was awesome.
Bro, you flowed so well. Are you kidding me?
No, dude, I love talking to people about this kind of stuff.
Dude,
Usually you can't talk to people about
No.
stuff like this. They just brush you off as somebody, oh, you're real woo-woo, dude, or you're really feeling like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it other than
No,
just
it's the typical.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, the guys don't.
what you said
deal
about
with it.
being about how you feel selfish or like you almost feel guilty. It's like I feel. Hey, last it's upsetting you. It's you can't feel guilty about getting healthier.
Oh,
you
man.
can't feel
No.
bad about getting better. And that was my biggest problem for the longest time in my life is I would want to be. I'm like, there's something on the other side of this. I don't know what it is, but I need to get there.
Yeah.
And I just got to quit being, for lack of a better term, a shitbag.
Yeah.
Like and whether that's just in mentally or just flying through life by
All
the seat of your
encompassing,
pants,
yeah.
all the things.
Yeah.
Just how you treat people or how you know.
It starts with yourself, dude. What do you tell yourself? Because for a long time, it was like,
But people
I don't
will.
like myself, dude. You know,
People will guilt trip you though.
They will.
They'll be like,
No.
oh, you're getting into shape. Oh, okay. Or
I know.
like, dude, obviously, one though you don't want those people as friends, but like as an acquaintance or anybody that could do that to you, just be like, hey, dude.
No, must be nice. That,
Yeah.
like,
Must be nice.
must be nice. And really, I mean, just keep working out,
Yeah.
keep being healthy, and they will look to you again and be like, dude, I was wrong.
How did you
Like,
do this? Like, must be nice. Yeah, it was nice that I woke up
The one that
at 4
drives
o'clock in the
me.
morning, 5 days a week, and worked for an entire year with no paycheck. And now, like, look where we're at now. Like, it must
Yeah.
be nice. Like, I feel sorry for you that you like have that opinion and outlook on life, but it's just
you
I think-
can
I hope
you
change,
can get there.
bro.
That's
Yeah.
what gets me the most fired up is when people are like, "Oh, how long has your business been in business for?" And it's like, "Well, Dad's had the business for 45 years, but it's just been him,
Right.
And he just does it not, I wouldn't say as a hobby because he's a master craftsman, but you know, that's what he's really good at, and that's what he's always been good at. But he's never been good at business on the side of, and I don't mean to say that in a bad way about my dad. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
he's never been good at business as far as what is the next step
Right.
to doing this. I've been really good at that
Good.
because of my job working at Dick's Sporting Goods, which
Good.
to go back into all that history of stuff, like on another podcast, that would be kind of interesting.
That
to
would be
do,
sick, dude.
But that's been the biggest growth marker is like, hey, Dad, we can't have our shop looking like slop, and then clean it up. Hey, man, we need these pieces of equipment. How do we procure these pieces of equipment? We got to be aggressive.
Right.
Like, let's go find
It's just
used
something he wouldn't
pieces
think
or
about
just-
or wouldn't want to do.
Or
yeah.
he'd be like, well, why do we need that?
Yeah.
I mean, he bitched at me because we got an 82-inch like flat screen TV in our shop just so that he could have something to listen to or watch. And he was like upset about it. Now it's like his favorite
Yeah, he's
toy.
glued
And
to
I'm
it,
just
yeah.
like,
That's funny.
dude, we got to get these machines. I promise you it will get better. And it's like, yes, it sucks at first because you spend $10,000 on X machine or you spend $14,000 and like, yeah, Dad, you're gonna have to eat ramen soup for a week.
Yeah.
Me too.
Feel poor for a while.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to feel really poor and like really dumb while all your friends are
Yeah.
like, wee, with their government jobs and whatever it is, and just, hey, yeah, we're $10,000 in debt and credit card debt. But then what happens is the slingshot.
Yeah.
And the next year, if you
The
do
more
it
you
right,
put in, yeah.
more you put in, all of a sudden I can churn out 4 jobs when I used to only be able to turn out 2. And then you have like a crazy month and you go, woo, this
You're
is
like,
awesome.
let's go. Yeah.